Hi everyone, and welcome back to Sit in It for a Bit on a Sunday with Arne Carlos. And we are, as always, your hosts.
Arne Carlos.
And we are back with the first Sit in It for a Bit podcast after the summer, which we hope you all have enjoyed. Or, it is August, so some of you may actually start your summer vacation now. But in Northern Europe, it's quite common to vacation in July. So this goes for all of Scandinavia. I suppose Iceland and Finland as well.
Probably.
Germany, the Netherlands for sure. Not
I
sure
don't-
about the
I don't
United
know.
Kingdom.
I don't know when they have holidays.
Well, I think it's a common thing
Common thing,
for Northern Europe to do July, and then you've got France and Italy and Spain. They do August.
I've seen a lot of Dutch cars when
Yeah.
we drive the car. There's a lot of Dutch tourists in Norway right
Yeah,
now.
lots
I
of
think.
Dutch and lots of Germans as well.
Yeah, Danish people.
Lots of Danish people as well. Norway is an all year round destination.
Yeah.
It's we've got winter. And then we've got a rather cool summer. I mean, it's not as cool as you'd think. I actually read in the newspaper the other day. So there's this new word for a type of vacation. Arne loves saying it.
I think we talked about it.
Yeah, but say you love it so much.
Coolcation. I
Right.
think we talked about it when we came back from America the last time because we heard it on the news there. And now, this week I heard it on the news in Norway. So it took half a year.
Yeah, it's becoming
So it's a thing
trendier.
now.
Yeah, trendier and trendier to vacation in cooler places. Although what I read in the newspaper the other day was a French tourist who was not pleased because he was expecting his family. They packed all these down jackets
Well,
and
I
all
thought it was
these
even
things,
colder.
expecting that it would be really cold. And actually, a coolcation in that sense, it means it's cooler than where you live. But if you live in France and the temperature is 32 degrees Celsius, and you come to Norway, the temperature is 27 degrees. Technically it is cooler,
But
but
still.
it's not necessarily colder.
But we have had a cold summer. When the sun is not out, it's so cold. But as soon as the sun comes, it's very warm, I think.
But people do misunderstand Norway a lot. People think it's eternally cold here, and it's not. The north of Norway this year has had temperatures in its 30s, so 90 degrees Fahrenheit, 30 Celsius. As Arne said, we've had a lot of rain down here this summer, so it has been cooler or colder than usual, but it doesn't mean it's cold. We're still talking about temperatures in the 20s, 20 Celsius, 70 Fahrenheit. So cold doesn't necessarily mean what you think.
In the dollhouse.
Oh wow, maybe we've got ghosts.
It was the door.
Yeah. So
Sorry.
anyway, yeah.
Sorry.
So anyway, there's some misconceptions about the temperature here in Norway, and we've shown our pajama gardeners videos all summer, and as you can see, we actually have summer. It's not winter year round, and we don't have polar bears.
We
walking in
haven't
the
worn
streets.
we haven't worn the pajamas a lot in the mornings in the garden.
No,
this
because the
summer.
mornings have been, without
been
the sun,
chilly or
the
rain.
mornings have been chilly or rainy. Yeah. Although hoping that August will get better.
But it's been a good summer, I think, and this summer has been different in the garden because we were so inspired our trip to England when we went to the Great Dixter.
Yeah.
Because they didn't pick all the weeds from the garden, so there were wildflowers and weeds in between the perennials. And we have done that this summer, and it's actually very nice.
It is, yes. It's lovely. The garden has actually, generally speaking, not only that, but I would say generally speaking, and you've seen it in our YouTube shorts. If you haven't, go to our channel here on YouTube and check out the shorts. We've done lots of shorts on our garden, and it is looking spectacular this year. It's looking better than ever.
Yeah.
Although we had a lot of setbacks this year. We had a very warm May. Temperatures were in the 80s, so in the 30s in Celsius, 80s Fahrenheit. Everything was early, and then we had a lot of rain. Rob, as you know, our robotic lawnmower, he decided to retire, early
He's retired
retirement.
now. Very early, actually.
And we had issues with our lawn. We couldn't get it cut because we couldn't quite understand how Rob could leave us like that.
No,
and then it
that
took a
was
while
difficult.
before his sister, Gardenia,
Yeah.
who we call Gard, came to replace him. She's smaller but feisty.
She's good actually,
very
because you have
feisty,
this
yeah.
long strip outside the storage house with the grass, and I don't know what this one is doing, but she seems to figure out that there's actually a long strip, like
Well, she's very good.
because Rob, he was going and hitting the edges all the time and was going around himself. So sometimes he fell asleep. So we had to carry him back to the charger. But this one seems to
She's feisty. She knows what
know
she's doing.
more.
Yeah. And
So-
we have her programmed. She starts mowing the lawn at 6 in the morning. And when Arne wakes up, pretty much,
then she's working.
the first thing he looks out the window, there she is working, and she finishes her job at 10 a.m. So it's from 6 to 10 a.m. It is very irresponsible, and I just want to say this now. It's extremely irresponsible to have a robotic lawnmower mowing at night, because there are a lot of nocturnal animals. We have them too here. We have many nocturnal animals that we don't want to disturb at night. So yeah, doing it in the morning works out. We don't have hedgehogs that we know of. I mean, we've never seen a
No,
hedgehog
we
here.
don't have them up here. But we got comments about the hedgehogs often, and that we should
Yeah.
be careful because the machine killed the hedgehog.
Well, yeah, that's because the hedgehog will, he won't run away. He'll
But
just
there
do.
are no hedgehogs.
But we don't have any. So
I don't know how far south we have to go to find them, but we don't have them.
where we live, we don't have any on the mountains anyway.
So we have mink.
We do
saw
have
a
mink. Yeah.
A black mink. He was cute.
Yeah. Well, I don't want to see him again.
I think he was nice, and he takes mice, and I think he's good for something.
Yeah.
Actually, they don't want him in Norwegian nature.
No, actually, Norway, a few years ago, I don't know how many years ago, but a few years ago, Norway banned raising animals for their fur. Fox, mink, it's
Yeah,
forbidden.
I think this one probably have
exactly.
escaped or something.
Well, a long time ago. It's forbidden in Norway. In Norway, you're not allowed to farm any animals for their fur. So the industry, the fox and the mink industry is no longer. And I think it must be 3-4 years ago, or maybe even longer, maybe even 5 years.
I don't remember.
Since the ban. But what happens is, from time to time, the minks have escaped the farms and they have then established themselves. And they're an invasive species here.
Yeah.
But so probably the mink that we saw in our garden is from an established colony somewhere. Yeah. And speaking of established animals, we also have some.
Canada goose.
Yeah, two
of them.
Well, four
two,
now.
Actually 4. And now the ducklings are almost as big as the parents.
They're
now.
no longer ducklings.
No, they're grown-ups now. And it's a bit of a problem, actually. We've been fighting them the whole summer, but we put up a
not
doll.
fighting them. We're just
try
making
to
sure
get them out of
that
the garden, but they poo everywhere, and it's huge. So
yeah, and you're not allowed to. I mean, we don't kill things because we don't do that. But the Canada geese are an invasive species, and they're not wanted in Norway. And you're allowed to hunt them from August 10th until December 23rd, I think it is. So you're not allowed to hunt them and kill them when they have little ducklings, which has been the period that we've been following them now. But from now on, anybody could come here and get rid of them. And it won't be us, obviously.
No. Well, we don't know how to do
I don't know how to use a gun. I never tried. Well, actually, I did in the military.
But
not since then.
we don't have guns lying around. We have to find a hunter.
We have to find a hunter for that.
Actually, we have a neighbor. She's a hunter.
Yeah, she used to live in
But
Svalbard.
I don't know. If you have 4 of them, and if you shoot one of them, 3 of them fly away.
Yeah, and then
so there will be 3 more next year anyway.
We'll see what happens. At the moment, they're not in our property, so it's only 4. If it was 32, it would have been a nightmare.
Maybe next year 4 comes back, and there will be
a few more, yeah. But it's an increasing problem here in Norway now. Canada geese are not supposed to be here. They were brought in by aristocrats from Sweden, or Swedish aristocrats.
And then they're also very important to
hunting.
Norway. I have this book about this.
Oh, you brought a book.
But actually, if you're new to this channel and it's called Sit and Knit for a Bit, and you wonder why we talk about ducks and minks and the weather, it's because you are supposed to sit and knit while we talk about these things.
Right. Some people understand that. They've been following our blog and our podcast since 2020. Some people, it's like, what the hell are they talking about? There will be knitting. We will get to the knitting. It just takes a little while for us.
Today we actually have some knitting here. So this is a very nice book. It's from a thrift store. It's an old one, and it says that...
I just remembered.
What?
Binoculars. I haven't packed my binoculars. We're going on a knitting cruise.
We're going on a cruise.
Yeah.
Well, when this is out...
We are on the cruise.
We are on the cruise.
Yeah. We're in Åndalsnes the day this is out.
Yeah. So let me see if I find out.
Yeah, and meanwhile, while Arne is looking, I just want to mention that if this location seems new to you, if you've never seen this background before, or these walls in this particular color, we have been, busy with the extension, and the past month we have been busy decorating. And we're actually in Arne's study right now. His new studio. Arne's new studio, which is beautiful. And he chose this beautiful, bright, sunny yellow for the walls. Originally, he was going to go for a very dark red.
But that was not good.
No, well, it was good. But Arne realized that we are going to be in here during the day, not at night. Like a dark red room is wonderful for evenings.
Yeah.
You can do your candles. A dining room would be amazing in red, and with candles everywhere, you light it up for an evening. But a room that you're using in the day, it makes more sense to have it in this color.
I walk by this room every morning, and before it was painted, and it was it was so nice to walk just pass by this yellow room in the morning, because the wood was yellow also.
Well, sunny, yeah.
Sunny and yellow, so we decided to paint it yellow. I can't find the goose.
And in case people are wondering now, what is the yellow? So the yellow, we'll tell you. The yellow paint comes from a little British company called Little Green. Green is spelled Greene, so there's an E at the end. So Little Green. And this particular shade of yellow is called Caris. So Carys. Caris or Caris. I don't know how to pronounce that. And it pairs beautifully with light bronze green, which is what we've used on the skirting boards. Which, one day we'll do, you'll probably see it if we do an episode in here where you see it from another angle.
Yeah.
But we've got a beautiful view. I'm looking out. So there's a window behind me, as you can see.
You can see the garden.
You can see the rock garden, which is north facing on that side. And then there's a window right across on the other side where you can see the lake and the greenhouse. That's the south facing window. And it's wonderful because it is a warm day today. And it is so nice that you've got these two windows, north and south, facing each other. And when you open them, you get a nice draft here. So it's kind of free air conditioning. It gets really warm, in the summer, yes. So, and then there's a large west-facing window that away with the view of the lake. And I also can see the lake we both can, from that window. So this is Arne's new room. It's beautifully decorated, and it's actually very pleasant spending time here, I have to say.
I think it's a nice room.
It's a great room.
And I couldn't find the goose, because I started to put these marks when I see a bird on the lake. So I have my kikert. Binocular. So I am a bird watcher now. I watch birds in the lake. And I found this one because the kind of the goose, I know how it looks. So I didn't put the mark, but I found this top on. The female one is swimming around. Actually, there's 3 of them in the lake right now. And I don't know what the English word is, but it's Aitaia fuligula.
Yeah, it's a little duck.
It's a little duck.
And it was really cute this morning. We have actually, in case you hear some noise, we've got an electrician here down in the downstairs bathroom, which is part of the new extension. And we were showing him where we wanted him to put the wall lamps. And at the same time, one of these little duckies was having a bath just outside the window. And it is wonderful to think about that, that you can have a bath inside in the bathroom, and then you can look out and see a duck.
You don't need the rubber one in the bathtub.
Right, you don't
have a real one in the lake.
Although I do have my rubber duckies.
I know you have.
I do.
But it's really nice because there's so many different breeds and they pop up in the lake every now and then, and it's kind of nice to figure out what they are because it's not easy to see the difference sometimes.
No.
But I think the one we saw today must be this top on. I have no clue what else it can be.
No, but anyway,
So-
it's a nice thing to have a binocular and a beautiful lake, and wildlife, and enjoying all of that as well in the comfort of your own home. In case you're all wondering, yes, the studio is done. The only thing missing is you can probably see it. There's no window treatments right now. We're doing a few beautiful Roman blinds with the fabric from this company
Because
that
you have
I'm
to have
crazy
some shade
about.
sometimes.
Yeah, and I found this Parisian brand. It's called Antoinette Poisson. And Antoinette Poisson was the name of Madame de Pompadour before she became Madame de Pompadour, the mistress of Louis the 15th, I believe. Yes, Louis the 15th. His mistress, Madame de Pompadour, her name was Antoinette Poisson. And the store is called À Paris, chez Antoinette Poisson.
Nice.
And they specialize in the domino, I think it's called the domino painted papers. It's paper that you would use to line bookshelves in the past or
I don't know.
cupboards.
Yeah.
And
How
they
do you know all these things?
Well, I've been to the website. I'm obsessed.
You're obsessed.
And they do these beautiful wallpapers, and they do these wonderful fabrics as well. So we're getting some beautiful blinds we're getting some blinds with beautiful fabric from them that I'm very
It's so
excited
long
about.
ago since we handed in the fabric, so I can hardly remember.
Yeah, because
was it green and
blue and yellow.
yeah?
Very cheery. I think you're going to be very happy.
I think it would be nice.
Yeah, it's Arne's studio, and he actually decorated the whole thing himself. However, he did let me help him choose the fabrics for the blinds because I was obsessed, and I said, I need this fabric in one room, please, can it be yours?
And if I manage to have this room a little bit more clean, not so messy as the old rooms, you can also spend time in here.
Actually, I did yesterday.
Yeah, you did, and I think I have organized a lot of stuff. So this winter I will run back and forth to the storage house to get yarn because now I only have project bags with the things I'm working on, and I'm going out to the other house to pick up stuff because if not, there will be stuff everywhere.
Yeah, and you need to go out and get me some yarn for my tote bag that I have. This is my tote bag, my project bag. I'm going to be carrying this around for 2 weeks now on board a Hurtigruten ship here in Norway. We are starting a cruise. Arne and I are leaving tomorrow, which is Friday because this podcast is pre-recorded. So today's Thursday the 8th. Tomorrow, Friday, we go to Bergen and we meet all the people that are joining the cruise. There are 41 people because we always keep our trips small. And there's 30 knitters and 11 non-knitters with us. So spouses and friends who are accompanying a knitter.
Yeah, and there's a lot of new people.
Tons of new people, although we are going to have a happy reunion with 5 people that we know of. Actually more, because we've met a few of the other people, not on cruises that we've organized, but on other trips. So we're very excited. We're going to have dinner tomorrow. There's going to be a welcome reception and dinner in Bergen. And then on Saturday, we're going to Hillesvåg Wolf Yarn Factory, our favorite yarn factory in Norway, which conveniently is located about 40 minutes away from Bergen.
Yes, and I'm not going to buy any yarn.
That's what you always say.
No, but I hardly never done it because I try to be...
Frugal?
Is that the word? Yeah. Because you have so much yarn lying around.
Yeah, right.
But there's always this basket with some good prices.
That's the problem there. And for
and
Americans,
they also have nice chachkas.
Chachkas, yeah. And nowadays for Americans and Europeans that use the euro, and actually for British people with the pound as well, coming to Norway is so cheap because our currency has been quite low for a long, long time now. So people come in to Norway and then they freak out when they walk into a wool factory or a yarn store and they see premium yarn for $6 a skein. I mean, they go bananas because it's the best yarn in the world. I mean, it's like super high-end, pure natural fibers, and you're paying between $3 and $6 per skein. And in the US, the same yarn would probably cost double, if not more.
Probably.
If not more, yeah. So it's actually very nice seeing people so
yarn
happy.
heaven.
Yarn heaven, yeah.
And there's yarn stores everywhere. So
Yeah. So we're very excited. We're actually going on the Svalbard Express.
so we're going to Longyearbyen, and
Yeah.
Fruene is the cafe. They also have a little yarn store in the
Yeah.
cafe. So
And I would
you have
say-
to walk by people eating their cakes to picking your yarn.
Yeah, I would say Fruene is the northernmost yarn store in the world because it is a yarn store plus a cafe, and the chocolaterie as well. They make chocolates there. However, we're also going to Ny-Ålesund.
And they also have a little selection.
Ny-Ålesund has a tiny little shop that also sells a little bit of yarn, but I wouldn't call Ny-Ålesund a yarn shop. I would call Fruene a yarn shop. So I would say Fruene is the northernmost yarn store in the world, but I would say that the little convenience store in Ny-Ålesund is the northernmost place in the world where you can buy yarn. It's a big difference because it's not really a yarn
That's
store.
typical Norway. You have yarn everywhere. Because
Everywhere.
you never know. You might need a ball or two
Exactly,
or something.
And I love Svalbard,
Yeah,
so I'm
it's-
excited
It would be fun.
about getting there.
And it's not dark.
No,
Actually,
right.
I packed the lights I got,
You don't need them.
but I don't think I need them.
No.
But I packed them in case. But
Yeah,
I
Norway.
don't know why.
In
I don't
Norway,
need them.
in Norway, the midnight sun is now officially over. But on mainland Norway, sorry, not in Norway. On mainland Norway, the midnight sun is officially over. But in Svalbard, which is also part of Norway, the midnight sun runs all the way until August 22nd. We're going to be in Svalbard from August 17th to 20th, I think it is. So we'll have 3 nights of midnight sun, the 17th, 18th, and 19th. It will be great.
Yeah.
So excited.
No,
So
I'm
Arne,
going to tell you a story.
yeah, we're going to get to the knitting now. I mean,
Yeah, this is-
somebody's going to complain. Oh, and now finally at 21 minutes, 35 seconds,
Oh,
they
there's some
start
knitting.
talking about knitting.
Yeah.
But that's because
That's
you've never
life.
been to the blog before. Or the podcast. This is about everything, not only knitting. Sorry.
But yesterday I was in the garbage place where you recycle all your garbage, and I was putting some stuff in a container, and there was a plastic bag there, and I could see 2 feet sticking out. They looked like this.
Just the feet?
Just
I wasn't
2
there, I don't know.
I saw these 2 feet sticking out of a plastic bag, and I said, there are something very familiar to these 2 feet, I was thinking. But I went back to the car, and I was thinking maybe I shouldn't go into the garbage and pick out stuff. But then before I left, I just couldn't help it. I had to go back to the container because these feet are very familiar to me.
And bingo.
And
Jackpot.
bingo.
He called me.
It gave me goosebumps. Because I opened the plastic and I pull out this doll,
That he's always wanted.
and it's a blonde Shorven doll. Look at her. This is what my first doll looked like this. She didn't have clothes, so I found this jacket for her just to make her a little
And you
bit
washed her
more
hair, huh?
decent. I washed the hair with even with conditioner. It's very nice now. And she's the sister of this one that I bought in Bergen in
March,
March.
I've never
Just
heard.
like us.
Arne went to the garbage alone because he went to throw away stuff. I mean, we're building here and we've been throwing away things
I
every
think
week.
they're so cute.
And I was alone home because I had to do other work, and also we had a plumber here. We had the carpenter here, and then suddenly I get a call from Arne. He's all exalted. Telling me about the jackpot.
That is crazy. This is like a collectible thing.
And I was thinking it's because we won the lottery or something, and then it turns out he won the lottery.
I won the
he got
lottery.
a doll.
And now she has a sister. It's not a collection yet because we have 2. You need 3 for a collection. But I think
You've got a pair now.
this must be Agneta. And this is Frida.
Yeah. I think you need
From
to.
ABBA.
I think you need to give the dark one the same treatment as you've given the blonde one,
Yeah.
hair treatment, because her hair is fabulous.
I washed her hair when we were on the cruise.
Yeah.
And I think I put conditioner in this one also.
Well, it looks like we have better products here than on the ship, because her hair is,
So now...
because she's worth it. Isn't that the commercial?
Yeah,
Because I'm worth it. She's worth
And
it.
she has a difference. The hair is put on different. This one is like there's no shape on the hair, but this one has actually what you call that when it's
It's side parted.
side parted. So she has a different hairstyle.
Yeah.
So, but these are cute. The ratti, made in Italy, but in Norway they were called Tjorven. So
Yeah.
this is the kind of doll I made doll clothes for when I was a kid, and I can't find any of those clothes anymore. So we have to make clothes for them,
Yeah.
and they need a dollhouse, a bigger one than this one.
So since we're here, before, I mean, we lied. We said we were going to talk about knitting. But
Oh,
we haven't.
yeah, I mean,
no,
I
whoa,
found
whoa,
a
whoa.
knitted
Yeah, oh yeah,
jacket
that's right.
for
There's a
her.
knitted jacket. But we lied. We're not going to talk about knitting just yet. We're keeping you here. So let's do a quickie here in the dollhouse. So the dollhouse has moved location from one room to another, and Arne has been redecorating.
And I think it has a
gonna move a
very
little bit.
nice space there.
So
And I don't know, it's very dark in there, but
yeah,
you can't see much.
no, you can't.
I think we have to do this properly with
Yeah.
Eric one day, or I take pictures. But I have actually
And it,
fixed the painting area.
and it looks to me as someone else is going on a cruise with us because she's got all her luggage done.
That's the Lika dolls. There's a Lika
Drawer.
drawer in this dollhouse now.
Yeah.
So this is the house for the Lika dolls. And we're still working on knitwear for the Lika. We haven't done a lot yet because we have so much other things to do, but it's coming. But that's for Japan. And this is yours.
Yeah, yeah. A friend of mine, a very good friends of ours gave us this.
We got one each. I got this one,
Yeah.
and you got the Alma.
She's a flight attendant at ANA, All
ANA.
Nippon Airways.
She's just cool. So there's this is from now. This is the Blight dollhouse, and then the Lika dollhouse, and the Blights up on the shelf. They also need a house.
Well, they live in the penthouse right now.
They have.
They have a penthouse suite with a terrace, and all you can see is the terrace. They're enjoying themselves.
And we're working on another dollhouse in the storage house. I started to paint the house, and then this morning I was thinking, did we throw away the pink paint?
No. Which pink paint?
The one we used in the
No, I don't think so.
upstairs.
No, I don't think. No, we have a little one. There's a
There
little.
was a big one. I started to paint the dollhouse with that pink, and we got rid of.
Well, we have to
paint
because
that
the
was
paint
too old?
it had expired, Arne.
So maybe have to buy new
Yeah.
one, or maybe more pink.
I'm sure people are, looking at the frame and looking at all these things. We've got our compulsory elk in sunset.
A moose.
It's a moose in sunset. It's very kitsch.
We
And
can leave it on.
it's lovely. No, I don't think so, because it's a lovely little thing that we like to light in the evening.
That's my grandmother's. It was on her TV.
And then I'm sure people are curious, Arne. So let's talk a little bit about the what's on the wall. That little
This one.
magazine cutout, which is
That
beautiful.
is a magazine from the magazine's called Allers, and Allers came actually from the same company as we work with when we do our cruises.
Yeah, our travel agency is
travel agency, and some of these magazines, they had so beautiful pictures on the covers. And when I grew up, we had a neighbor, a Danish lady, who lived in the winter house on the out farm, and she stayed there since Second World War until she died in the 90s or late 80s? I don't remember now. And her nephew was this artist, Kurt Ard. He
Yeah.
was making the picture or the front pages of these magazines, and he's a little bit like the American one, Norman Rockwell. He has the same style.
Yeah.
And we have a little collection of his magazines, but this picture reminds us of our first book, the Christmas Ball book.
Yeah.
Because we were knitting on the sofa, and I found these two guys on the sofa. It's kind of us.
It is, yeah.
So
it is
it's
us.
a nice
the funny thing is, though, I mean, you've known about the artwork and the artist for a very long time.
Yeah.
But I don't think you had seen this cover before we shot the book.
No, this is
So
something we find later.
Usually, I mean, when we've done these photo shoots, especially for our books, we found inspiration. There is a photo in our book, Make Your Own Idea book, where we are on the floor with a lot of books.
That was the cover
That was
in
inspired.
some countries.
That was inspired by the cover of of an LP
No, it was not
record.
the cover. It was the
The insert of
insert
it was the
of,
Communards or Jimmy Somerville
no,
or
Erasure.
Erasure, yeah.
They were sitting on the floor with vinyl records, I
Yeah.
think, or books or
And
something.
we kind of
Oh, that's a nice
recreated,
picture.
we recreated it kind of like that. But so sometimes we take inspiration of that, but this time actually it was the opposite. We shot the cover for 55 Christmas Balls to knit on that sofa, and then it became this global phenomenon, which is our book on knitting Christmas balls that we did 14 years ago. And then a few years after, we found this cover, this artwork for this cover, and we just had to have it.
Yeah.
And now it's in your studio.
Yeah, it's a nice picture.
It is.
So that's the story of. Actually, this guy Kurt Ard, he also painted on the fireplace in the winter house in our out farm. So I told my brother, you shouldn't paint over this.
No.
It's not as nice as this. It's more like a pencil drawing of moose and like wild birds from Norwegian woods. So it's kind of a cool thing that it is made by this artist.
Absolutely.
So.
And then in addition to that, there's a clown painting up on the wall now.
Which we're not going to show because people are afraid of clowns.
I am afraid of clowns. I'm tolerating it.
You're getting used to it.
And then on the other side, you can't see it either, but there's a beautiful painting of a horse and a wagon and a house on it.
We shouldn't talk about things that people can't see, Carlos.
We're creating images in their mind. It's stimulating them to use their creativity and imagination. It's good.
It's good, okay.
So yeah, that picture Arne stole from the kitchen wall. I walked down and it was all white and
I think some of you have seen it because we've done some things from the kitchen,
we've done
like live streams.
I think we've done sit in it for a bit there as well.
I think we did.
Anyway, he stole the picture and took it up because we're getting some new stuff to hang there anyway. So now people are going to say, oh, and then they tricked us at 20-something, whatever minutes it was, about the knitting, and there's still no knitting. So
let's show the last knitting.
So yeah, finally at 31 minutes, we're going to talk about knitting. We have been knitting this summer for a special project that we have just finished taking photos for. It's actually photos of our feet. So I actually went to the hairdresser after we did the photo shoot because they didn't need to see my face in the photo shoot anyway.
No, and you have great feet.
I got great feet.
Great feet.
Great feet.
We have to find yarn for your project.
We do, yeah. So anyway, we did a photo shoot and we designed 2 pairs of socks for that that we haven't posted on our web shop yet.
And this is made by a Norwegian yarn that is probably hard to find.
No, Rauma is easy to find.
You think this one is a special sock yarn?
Yeah, but I think Rauma is available in the US and in the UK probably as well. I know for sure the US has it.
Yeah.
UK, not so sure. But yeah, we did two different kinds of socks. We've got these, kind of like inspired by tennis socks, but higher, and they've got the chain that we did for a scarf, so it's got this chain effect.
Don't you have a dicky with this pattern?
We have a dicky.
No, that's coming with Rowan, the new.
That's coming with Rowan, but we've got a scarf
with this one.
Yeah, and then it's got nice. It's got a nice ribbing as well on the foot. So
and this size was good. Actually, the other one was a little bit too big. So this is just knit and purl. But I think they're a little bit too big, so I should probably take them out and make them shorter.
Yeah.
So
it's got a knit and purl, and then it's got a compulsory signature. We've got this combination of stripes, which is the Arne Carlos signature.
It's 1, 2, 3, 2, 5, 2.
Yeah.
And 15 first.
And which we always do. So both of them have the stripes on the top, which match, but are in contrasting colors. And then they're different designs, obviously.
I think I'm going to take this out now and make it shorter on the foot.
Why?
Because
I like the length.
Yeah?
I do, yeah.
Okay, so let's keep them.
Let's keep them the way they are. And we're thinking of doing patterns as well for the website. We can't talk too much about the job because it's a secret, but it's not an international job. It's actually for the Norwegian market. So it's probably something most of you will not come into contact with, but we are planning on posting the patterns for both the socks on our web shop. So if you're interested,
And
getting these, do let us know. I mean, the more people who tell us, the more we kind of realize, okay, we got to do it now. Otherwise, we might put it off
probably
for a
first
while.
because this one is easy to make the pattern in different sizes.
Yeah, it's very easy.
This one takes a little bit more time.
It's got a nice, very nice effect, as you can see here. It looks like a checkered pattern in relief, which is great.
So that is good.
So there, we talked about knitting.
We talked about knitting, and she has a jacket.
Yeah. So
this is very. This is like what's called this yarn called? The mohair? No.
This is the alpaca soft DK. Yeah.
No, this is something we got a gift in America with.
Oh, cashmere. This is cashmere
for the doll.
Yeah, very expensive cashmere for the doll. Somebody gifted it to us.
Like small balls.
Oh, I remember. Jane Sapphire cashmere.
I think you should come closer to me. You're moving out of the camera.
Well, I moved out to show the dollhouse. That's why.
Yeah. Come back.
I'm back.
Actually, there's unused stuff in the dollhouse. I made the shelves for the kitchen because we had so many small things.
No, I'm disappearing.
So, and also we have a grandnephew, and my sister has a dollhouse, and he and his sister came to my sister, and they played with the dollhouse. And our grandnephew, he was so obsessed by the dollhouse. So we went to a thrift store with my sister, and she found a little dollhouse for him. And now we have prepared a box with dollhouse stuff that actually is original for that house. It's a Swedish dollhouse called Lundby. So,
but I don't really think that he's interested in playing with a doll.
No, he just wanted to decorate it, but
he's interested in creating, he's interested in doing the interiors.
Yeah, and he also wanted people. And we have...
Oh, he did want people. Oh, okay. So
people.
Then he is interested in playing with it. Oh,
no, I don't think he he just redecorate.
How old is he?
That is playing.
He is now, what's he, 8? No, he's younger.
He's younger.
7. 6 or 7 years old, so he's still very young. But yeah, he is a very creative guy.
But it's so fun that some of the kids have those interests.
Well, he's very creative. He loves creating things.
Yeah.
So I think for him, the best part of the dollhouse is that he has a blank canvas and then he can do...
Yeah, actually, my sister said he was painting all the rooms. The first thing he did was to paint all the rooms.
Yeah, right. So that's...
And the house on the outside.
Yeah. So I think we have a nephew that will probably become a designer.
Someone who can inherit.
Or work, if not a designer, who will have a creative job in the future.
Oh, you never know. It can change. Maybe he's into it now.
I don't think so. No, he's special.
It doesn't change. No, I was like that when I was a kid. I never changed. Look at me now. I still have.
Yeah, he has that sensibility as well that artists have. He's an artist. He's a born artist, and then it will be exciting to follow him and see where his creativity will take him in this world. They were a little bit worried about him, but he's only 7 years old too. His parents were a little worried about him first because he didn't talk until he was 4 years old. But I mean, as we said to them, don't worry. I mean,
maybe he was smarter.
He'll talk when he has something interesting to say.
There's nothing.
And as long as he doesn't have anything to say, why should he? I mean, he's smart.
If there's nothing interesting to talk about, why should he talk?
Exactly. And then now they're worried because he's not very good in school. But again, he doesn't fit the mold. Leave him alone and just let him figure it out.
I think it's easier to not fit the mold like now than when we grew up. And I think it was harder. And
then you see the interest that he has. He's very interested in this dollhouse. Last year he spent a few days here. He brought a little book with the Woody Woodpecker and his assistants. It was a book about being outdoors and making things. It was like a guide to...
Donald Duck's nephews. Wasn't it?
No, it was Woody Woodpecker.
It was
Woody Woodpecker. And they had all these chapters on things they could make, like that foam, the one where you have 2 cups and you put And then there were how to make a kite. And
so we did the kite.
Yeah. He was obsessed with this book. So that's the way he's going. And
he walked around with a book under his arm like a professor. And
exactly. So you need to give him all the encouragement when it comes to that. And then the other things will figure themselves out later. But he needs encouragement and he needs to be taken seriously for the things that he's interested in. So I think that it's great that you're going to give him the.
It's nice we can support him.
Yeah. We wanted to give him the furniture last weekend when we went to a birthday party. Unfortunately, it wasn't his birthday party.
So we didn't.
So we felt we couldn't come in there and then give him all the gifts. So we're going to...
But we have prepared a really nice box for him.
Yeah.
With a lot of stuff.
That he will get eventually.
And I'm going to show you something from the garden.
Okay.
This is scary.
Oh, yeah. Oof.
I brought one.
Yeah, you should burn it afterwards.
Yeah. So we have this willow tree in the garden, and was it 2 days ago? I walked around in the garden looking at the plants, and then I saw the willow tree had this red spot. Look at this. And it was so many. And it's like a little wasp that put his eggs, and there are like something growing in there. And I was Googling it, and it said you could put some poison on it, like spray it. But then the other alternative was to pick all the leaves and burn them.
Which is what you've done.
So I've been picking leaves. I spent probably 2 hours picking leaves with these on, and that was one day. The next morning I went to see if there were more. I found another one, and this morning I found this one. But
is this the last one?
I don't know. But there was a little wasp on the leaves when I was checking them.
You know,
the best thing, burn them, because they destroy the tree.
Yeah.
They can also go for roses, but they haven't touched the roses.
But you know, this is nature. It is part of nature.
Disgusting.
So what can you do? It's disgusting. Yeah, burn that.
It's like a big acne.
Yeah, get that away from here before we get them all over the house. Yeah. I don't think so, though.
No, they don't pop out.
But yeah,
quick.
go and burn them.
But it's a bit disgusting. So that was a scary day.
Yeah.
In the garden.
And as the ones of you who are still here, who follow us and have followed us for such a long time, you will all know that we do much more than knitting anyway. I don't know, I probably didn't have time to show you this before, because we haven't done Sit in It for a month now. But we were sent this lovely magazine from Japan.
Yeah, this is nice.
Yeah, this is Oshibori, which is the art of creating.
I actually used Google on the title, and it's called Mitt blomsterliv.
Yeah, my garden life.
Or flower life.
So it's a feature of our work. So this is stuff that we've done for our garden. I mean, for this magazine from our garden. So it's all garden art.
It was really fun to see this in the magazine.
Amazing.
Because it's so different from all the other stuff in the magazine.
Yeah, we're different.
And it's very inspiring for us to see these things, because then you want to press more flowers. So it's an article with that's the picture you talked about.
Oh yeah. So anyway, this is the main feature, my garden. Welcome. What does it say? Welcome to my garden. And then you can see down there it's got our name on it, right? And then it's a little bit about the artwork that we've done with plants. Like,
I think we showed how we do that.
Press and then glue shorts. And create these.
Well, we used laminate.
Yeah, we laminate them.
Laminate them, because I think we talked about this before. We went to Japan with pressed flowers, and we didn't dare to just bring the flowers since it's a different continent. So we laminated them. And
then we've got this feature on our garden as well. So, and this is the photo that we were talking about, inspired by the
erasure.
By the erasure artwork. We created this for a cover. Unfortunately, we're not looking at the camera because the artwork wasn't, and that's a mistake. Because when you do a book, they want you to look at the camera. So
that's something you see. That's something they tell us all the time. You have to look in the camera, and there are a few knitting books where you actually don't see the people from front. There's a lot of books where they twirl around, or you see people from the back.
Yeah.
So I don't understand why we have to look in the camera.
Yeah. Anyway, it was a lot of fun being featured in this Japanese magazine. And here's the cover, and as you can see on the top, they do like putting English words as well. So it does say enjoy flower life. So it's a flower, Japanese Oshibori.
It's all
flower
about
magazine and
pressed flowers.
And yeah, when you look at ours, when you look at our artwork like this with the pressed flowers, and then you look at the the other artists, their work is quite different.
Probably very Scandinavian.
But I think that's what I was going to say. I think it's because this is a Japanese magazine and they're all Japanese artists. So they have a cultural point of view that is different from our cultural, because we are different, culture-wise anyway. So you can see it's very different. And then we have an aesthetic and a culture that is maybe more clean and minimalistic, which I never thought I would describe myself as, but then we've got that sense of color as well.
When we got the magazine, I saw it.
Yeah,
it's a different aesthetics thing.
Absolutely.
So,
and I'd say in general, with Japanese, so the Scandinavian point of view is very popular in Japan, and I would say that culturally we're very similar, actually, even if we are from two different continents, and culturally we are very different. There's also a lot of similarities in our cultures in terms of the aesthetic approach. Also the fact that we take our shoes off when we enter houses in Scandinavia. We eat a lot of fish. I mean, we do have a lot in common, and we're known as very efficient.
And when you go to Japan, you can go to these Scandinavian places like Fika, it's that a cafe, and you have Swedish and Danish bakeries, and there's a lot of Scandinavian stuff. You have Moomin everywhere.
Yeah. So traveling in Japan, see how different everything is from here. Yeah, you can still recognize a lot of things that may look different, but are very common, that we have common ground with. So I know that a lot of Scandinavians appreciate the whole Japanese aesthetic, the way that the Japanese appreciate the Scandinavian aesthetic. It's all about bringing nature in, isn't it, for us, which is what this magazine does. It's very Scandinavian and very Japanese. So it's a nice I don't know. It's a nice complement to each other's cultures in a way that we really enjoy. So we love working with.
But it's really fun to get the magazine and see the pictures, and it inspires us to press more flowers.
Yes.
So we have more in the flower press.
And it would be nice. It would actually be nice to do a whole thing of this for the house, a herbarium kind of theme. I would love that. I don't know where we'd put it, but
no, that's a good question.
But a whole I don't know, a whole series
up in the roof.
Yeah, right. A whole series of this for the house. I mean, we haven't actually. These are in Japan currently.
We have to make new ones.
I think we need to get these back, Arne.
But I saw on YouTube. I saw a video about herbariums, like a really beautiful but that was when you glue on the flower. And you put them in these folders. That was very beautiful. But I haven't found out where you can get them. So, but that could be nice also.
Absolutely.
Instead of putting them in the
laminating.
Yeah. But if we're not bringing them to Japan, we can do it the old way.
We'll have to figure out before we do more there what the rules are in terms of bringing in plants and things. But I think that when they're pressed and they're dried, I don't think they pose a threat. But you never know. You do need to respect the customs.
When they're in between the plastic, they should be safe. We can't get them out.
Yeah. So we're excited. We do have a trip to Japan coming in November this year. We're very excited about that. It's one of our favorite countries to travel in. There's so much amazing going on there, and And
we have to look for two blights more.
Two more blights,
and maybe we'll the medium one, and I want one more.
Yeah, big. And then maybe we'll try to get a meeting with Kumiko, the editor of the magazine, and see if we can do some more fun stuff for them.
Actually, we have that Licka doll thing. But
that's not with her. Huh? She's only the editor for the floral.
She's only with the floral now. Yeah.
Okay, Arne, we've been blabbing for a while. Finally, there was a little knitting. Not much this time, but there may be more next time. Next time, we're going to be on the cruise. So you'll get a little bit of a sit in it for a bit from there, and maybe we'll do more knitting. We do have a final thing to finish up with, and it's one of your purchases this week.
Yeah, because finally, now there's a new record from Orville Peck. I guess our favorite male country singer.
Yeah.
And this one is called Stamped. How do you say that?
Stampede.
Stampede.
You know what a stampede is?
No.
So a stampede is when a lot of cattle are running at the same time, and they may, kill you because they run over you.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like thousands.
Stompa her.
Yeah, well, they're running towards you like
Yeah.
thousands of them or
Trappa her.
hundreds of them. Yeah, yeah. Well, no, it doesn't mean you're going to get trampled by them.
no.
But stampede is a lot of cattle running at the same time,
Okay.
I think.
It's a nice record.
Am I right? I don't know.
Yeah. And also another cool thing is that you get to hear, or for us at least, there's some artists we never heard about. So there's some new artists, but you also have, and it's all duets. It's with Willie Nelson and Kylie Minogue.
Oh, we know them.
We know them, and Beck. But then,
Beck, the Norwegian? No.
actually, his mother was.
Oh, Beck.
half
I was
Norwegian.
thinking of the other guy. I don't remember his name now.
This is an American
Niels.
singer.
Niels.
No,
Beck.
he's Norwegian, but this
Yeah,
is
okay, the
American.
other.
But his mother actually.
Oh, okay, yeah. So the other
Has
Beck,
some Norwegian,
not Niels.
and Elton John, and it's like this very old, like this, and this white vinyl.
Yeah.
So if you haven't heard Orville Peck, you should check him out. He's really cool.
He's very good,
Look,
yeah.
white vinyl, isn't that cool?
Yeah. And he's very easily recognized because he always wears a mask. Nowadays, it doesn't have the fringes.
No, it has been
He used to have all
smaller
the
than before.
He used to have all the fringes. Yeah, he's the masked.
So I think
country
this is
singer.
his third. He has Pony and what's the other one?
I don't know.
Oh, I don't remember.
I can't remember.
We have all of them, and there's another one also, Pony with a red cover, and no, but this is the last one.
Yeah.
Very good.
So I'm gonna go and I'm gonna get some yarn in my bag.
Yeah.
That I'm gonna be taunting around, schlepping around the ship for 2 weeks now.
Yeah.
And I've customized, as you can see. It's originally a black and white bag, but it's getting more and more customized. So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna go get the binoculars because
Yeah.
I want them with me.
I'm gonna bring my old one because that's a good one.
Yeah.
And,
And I'm actually hoping that they'll give us a pair.
yeah. And I have
crossed.
4 crochet projects and 1 knitting project. So
Yep.
4. I'm not gonna bring dolls this time.
No.
Because then I get occupied with the dolls, and you never know. Maybe there's a thrift store and I found another one.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
So I shouldn't do that this time.
So this means that this podcast, Sit in It for a Bit, where we didn't knit at all, is coming to an end. And we sure hope you have enjoyed this episode. And if you have, please give us a big thumbs up. Like and subscribe. And once you are a subscriber, turn on the notification sign.
So you won't miss an episode.
That's amazing, right?
And you can also be a member.
Right. There's also additional content in our members area. We're doing tours of the studio, the bathroom, and the laundry room in our new extension there. So if you want to have a look for that additional content, you can find it here on our YouTube channel. All you need to do is click on the join button, which is next to the subscribe button, and then you get the tiers there and you get the information of what's included. So if you want to do that, feel free to do so. And if not, we do post episodes here every week for free. Every other week we do Sit in It for a Bit, which is what you
Sunday?
just experienced today.
Yeah.
And we do regular episodes and tutorials the other Sunday, every other Sunday. So make sure to watch that as well.
Yeah.
And yeah,
See you next time.
see you next time. Thank you so much for watching. Next time, as I said, we will be on the Hurtigruten, probably filming this episode on one of the days where we are out at sea.
So that can be rocky.
We've got 2 days. We're going from the North Cape to Svalbard, which is a group of islands belonging to Norway, the closest place to the North Pole, about 800 miles south of the North Pole. So we've got 1 day to get to Svalbard, and then as we leave Svalbard, we have 1 day back. So one of those 2 days, we're going to record a podcast that you are going to be able to see on August 25th. So we can't wait for that. Thank you so much for watching, and see you very soon. Bye.
Bye.